Yes, you read it right. I missed out on 700,000 profit by selling earlier. Did I exit too early? Hi, Alyssa here. Today I'm going to share with you something more personal, our own real estate journey and our thought process in making decisions. We've learned a lot from this journey. Some wins, some regrets. We're really passionate about real estate and we truly believe it is one of the most powerful ways to build assets and financial security. So we hope that by sharing our journey so far, it can help you on your journey too. So please watch to the end and remember to click on the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Okay, let's begin. Our first property was an investment property, a 2-bedroom in NB Residences along Pasir Ris Grove, which we bought during the launch back in 2010. Make a guess how much this 2-bedroom, 743 square feet cost back then? It was just 652,000. What can we buy with 652k today? Like nothing, huh? I remember that time I just got back to work after we had our first child. We were staying with my in-laws in their HDB and were in our 3rd year of real estate. With some savings that we earned from real estate, we thought it would be best to lock in the money in a property. Here's what we truly believe in. Although we can't time the market and cannot be certain of the gain that a property can generate, what we can do is to make sure that we pick the right property at the right entry price that will have a strong demand from buyers when we exit. Another thing we really believe in is seeing property as a form of forced savings. How many of you are like us? Somehow or rather, our savings will be gone if we don't lock them in. Perhaps it's because you feel so comfortable with the amount of savings that you have, you tend to spend it on dining, shopping, and traveling. So for us, we always stretch ourselves when it comes to property. Okay, back to our story. About 2 years later in 2012, we decided it was time for us to start house hunting. My hubby hoped to stay together with his parents, and I was also expecting my second child, so we needed a 4-bedroom. We were considering a few places until Seletar Park Residence came out. When we saw the design of Seletar Park Residence, which was also designed by SCDA architects, we knew that this was the one we wanted for our young family, for our kids to grow up in. To fund this purchase, we decided to sell our NB Residences. It was less than 2 years actually, so there was seller stamp duty. At that time, it was just 2/3 of the standard buyer stamp duty, which is 3% minus 5,004. Not bad leh! Our 20% down payment is about 130k, and after buyer stamp duty, seller stamp duty, commission to the buyer agent and other expenses, we still have around 100k of profit in less than 2 years. This is where we really experience for ourselves the power of leveraging. Although buying at 600 over K and selling at 700 over K seems like nothing much, but because of leveraging, the return on my down payment is about 77% leh. With that, we bought a 4-bedroom at Seletar Park Residence during the launch at 1.645 million. In fact, we are considering selling it now. If you haven't seen this development before, we did a video last year and have added it to the end screen of this video. You can catch it if you'd like to find out more. As mentioned, our plan was to stay with my in-laws, and we also plan to send our kids to Mahabodhi School, so on hindsight, Seletar Park Residence is really far leh. Then somehow just nice, Senate Residence came out in 2013, right at Potong Pasir MRT and much closer to the school. With this thought in mind, we bought a 4-bedroom in Senate Residence for 1.997 mil. Ironically, after experiencing living in Seletar Park Residence as its TOP first, we enjoyed it so much that we decided to stay put and ended up renting out Senate Residence instead. We stayed in SPR for over 6 years. In the 4th year, 2019, we started to feel like the space was getting a little tight for us and our growing kids. We thought of getting a bigger 4 or 5 bedroom initially, wasn't exactly keen on the landed then, not until we visited our client's newly rebuilt house. It was then that we got really inspired and began thinking, could we actually rebuild too? So working towards that, our first step was to sell Senate Residence to free up a name. The plan was to use the proceeds from Senate Residence and our savings to buy an original house to rebuild. But if you notice, from the property price index, we actually entered at a high at 2012 for Seletar Park and 2013 for Senate Residence. This was after 8 rounds of cooling measures, including the introduction of TDSR in 2013, which had a significant impact on people's ability to buy. So when we were looking to make a move in 2019, we knew that we may not see any gain. But looking at the supply and demand, we believed market should be on an upward trend. And with so many rounds of cooling measures in place, we also believed that property prices should grow in a sustainable manner. Thus, since we were upgrading, it definitely made sense to do it earlier rather than later. Luckily, we managed to sell Senate Residence at a record price of 2.15 million then, allowing us to still profit a bit. But here's the thing, do you know how much we can sell it for today? Look at it guys. The estimated valuation is 2.866 million. Means we actually missed out on 700,000 in profit leh. Does that mean we made the wrong move? We'll take a look at it later. From there, we bought an original semi-D to rebuild this house. Do you want a tour? perhaps we can leave that for another day. We were actually house hunting towards the end of 2019. Do you remember what happened at that time? Yes, COVID-19. At that time, it was still known as the Wuhan virus. Friends and family were still asking us to rethink about buying. Luckily, we still decided to go ahead as we were confident that property prices would remain resilient to negative impacts such as crisis and interest rate hikes. We also believe that it is in times of uncertainty that we can find a good buy. Remember Warren Buffett said this? In other words, buy when there is fear, not when there is no fear. So we eventually bought this semi-D at a good price of 3.55 mil. Fast forward to today, while it seems like we lost 700,000 by selling our Senate residence earlier, guess how much we saved? Today, the house next door with a slightly smaller land was sold last year for 5.2 million. See? My new neighbour is currently rebuilding. So if I bought mine at 3.55 mil and they bought theirs at 5.2 mil, I actually saved 1.65 mil on the land cost. And if I were to build this house the same way now compared to back then, it would cost me easily 1 mil more in construction costs. Just land costs and construction costs alone, I've already saved 2.65 mil. Still got increment in stamp duty and GST left. So, did I really lose 700,000 in profit by selling earlier? Actually, I can cover the 700,000 that I missed earning from Senate residence plus another 2 mil worth of savings. In case you're wondering, why are we still keeping our Seletar Park residence? Is it worth it to keep it for rental? Let me share our latest net income from its rental. For revenue, there was a lapse of 1 month as we have a change of tenant. In both cases, monthly rental is 5,000 per month. So 5,000 times 11 equals 55,000. Maintenance fee is about 580 per month, working out to be 6,960. As for interest rate was very high last year, so I paid a total interest of 39,541. And my property tax for this unit was $4,560 for 2024. Based on these three main expenses, what am I left with? I'm only left with 3,939 left. What if we have to pay commission and also include in the minor miscellaneous costs? Think we will have to pay to hold the property already. Luckily, we can do repricing for our housing loan soon. So this year will be better. Maybe 10k more in earnings? So as you can see, not much point one. If you are still young, personally, I would not recommend you to keep your property for rental for too long. At this age, I would strongly recommend you to focus on capital gain. Before we end, I just want to summarize 3 things that looking back made a huge impact. Not just personally for us in our real estate journey, but also for some of our clients. Hopefully by sharing here, it'll help you in your journey too. Number 1, start early. We were very lucky to have started early, in our mid-20s. Honestly, we didn't think too much. We just believed in property and thought, worst case is a good form of forced saving. But what if we could actually enjoy some good gains from it? By starting early, it allowed us to leverage more on housing loans with longer loan tenures. And not only that, it gave us the opportunity to go through more rounds of buying and selling. And each time, we could elevate our asset value with much help from the sales proceeds, made up of our down payment, principal savings, and property appreciation. Number 2, instant versus delayed gratification. Honestly speaking, every time we made a move, we also stress and fear, especially when we chose to stretch ourselves each time and go for a higher value property. But looking back, I must say this delayed gratification really paid off. Of course, we could have chosen the easier way. Stay comfortable, be hassle-free, stress-free, no need to worry, no need to move. And we understand, life is already stressful enough. Family, work, kids. But at the end of the day, we always ask ourselves, which choice will give our family a more comfortable life in the long run? And that's what kept us moving forward. And number 3, be clear and decisive. Along the way, there will always be people advising us, why don't you wait a bit? Crisis coming already. Don't buy yet lah. You sure this is a good buy? Like a bit expensive leh. Honestly, we appreciated the care and concern. But what we learned is, at the end of the day, you have to be clear about your own direction. Understand the market well. Know the demand and supply situation, choose the right development at the right entry price, and always plan for a safe exit. Once we are clear with all this, it becomes easier to be decisive and take action. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. I really hope this sharing has been both enjoyable and meaningful for you. Do remember to like and share this video, and remember to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or just want someone to bounce ideas off for your own property plans, feel free to give me a call or drop me a text. Once again, I'm Alyssa, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.